The model that Miss Blevins uses, and I've seen some other times since I've been in college, has been that of assigning a article or a document to read that pertains to the lesson that would be taught the next time we met. Um, in that sense, I really liked it. You cover more content and more information, but at the same time, you are able to explore further into your own interests that you may not be able to do while sitting in class.
First time I was introduced to inverted assignments was in Miss B's class last semester. The first thought that went through my head was, this is a lot of work that we have to do outside the classroom.
My idea of an inverted classroom was always more along the lines of self-paced, not one where the student was able to do some knowledge gaining or information gathering the night before or at home and be prepared for the class.
Initially, when we started having inverted assignments in this classroom, I was a little unsure about how it was going to be when you had to do things at home. I thought it may be more difficult just because it's not something that we had completely covered and talked about in the classroom. So for me to have to do assignments on my own, I thought I might struggle with that.
At first, I thought that the inverted assignment was not going to be fun for me because I'm not very tech savvy, and so I thought it was just going to be a hassle and it was going to be more difficult to even get to it than it was going to be to actually complete the assignment and gain something from it.
I thought it was a fancy way to say homework, and that, oh great, she's assigning homework, but she doesn't want to call it that.
My thoughts previous to having done an inverted assignment were, I'm not sure what this is all about.
When we first started doing inverted homework assignments, I kind of just equated it to any other homework. It just had a different name. And I felt a lot of pressure because I thought I had to learn everything on my own. And if I didn't understand a concept, then I was going to be lost because I didn't learn it correctly on my own.
And I figured out after instruction that it was pretty easy to get to, it was pretty easy to just do from home, you can learn in any environment, and it was really beneficial for me and it helped me to do well on my tests. So I like it.
Once we started getting into it, I actually really enjoyed them because the assignments made me feel better prepared for the classroom because we had to read before we came to class or do assignments that we were going to talk about and discuss further in depth in class. So I felt like I was prepared to come to class because I had stuff to contribute to the conversations and contribute to the learning of my peers. So everybody was engaged in the classroom. It also kept me accountable for being prepared for class. It made me read my assignments and do things to help prepare me for class. It also is a good way if we're doing projects in class to submit things a little bit at a time so that you make sure you're staying on top of things and you can receive a lot of feedback from assignments so you can make the changes that you need to make before you submit your full or bigger project into it. So now I think it would be a good thing to incorporate into several different classrooms and even my classroom when I become a teacher.
The more we actually developed and went into the inverted assignments, the more I realized that it was very conducive towards the environment in the classroom for discussion and for taking our knowledge and instead of skimming the surface, going deeper into the different assignments. So we were prepared for class and it was a thorough class discussion because we knew what we were talking about going in.
After going through an inverted assignment where I'm sitting at home on my own, which first of all I like because I get to do this at home, and seeing it firsthand for myself was an experience. But then coming into the classroom, what I found out was that it was a more enriching experience, that we were able to get more in depth with the material that we were learning and have better discussion throughout the classroom with the teacher, however it may be, through peer instruction, whatever the case might be, and how you're handling the situation as a teacher. It really appeared to help in terms of understanding and getting into the depth of material, as opposed to just coming into what would be a traditional type setting.
You're able to learn at home at your own pace. You can read in depth, you can read it 4 or 5 times rather than in class when you have to read really fast and you feel rushed and you may not fully grasp a concept. And then by the time you get to class, you've had time to process the information you read and you really know what you don't understand, and it kind of clicks or doesn't click. So then once you get to class, you realize what you need clarification on. And it's very empowering because it teaches you that you can learn on your own, and you're able to take a role in helping your peers learn. And so I think that's the really cool part of inverted assignment.
Personally, it's helped me in growing as a student and as a future educator. There have been instances where I have found something interesting in an article and been able to go do research and then add more to the class discussion because of further research that I've been able to do.
You kind of understood and realized why she was doing it. Being able to go over material just 30 minutes at night before the class the next day made it a lot easier to connect with this material she was teaching, and made the instruction time a lot easier, not only on her but for us as students to really understand what we were doing and why we were doing it. So I would really encourage people to use inverted assignments and flipped classrooms. It not only helps the teachers connect with the students, but it also helps the students connect with the material.